Good morning, everyone. This is Anna. Welcome back to my daily reading for Thursday, July the 17th. Pulled two cards, and they are almost very similar. Not in the actual what the meanings are, but look at the coloration. Isn't this interesting? You've got the Seven of Swords with this very interesting coloration where things look cold. They got the blues and these purples and whatnot. And the same thing in this power card. Isn't this very interesting? With purple. Purple is a color of power. Anyhow, let's begin with the tarot. Okay, the Seven of Swords, and here you see this this fairy who's carrying all these swords, and she seems really bogged down, like she seems completely burdened by these swords. And there's one more over her head that's just ready to go flying that way. Isn't that interesting? What is interesting about it, you ask? Well, basically what I get from this card is this as an advice. Throwing jabs at people, putting them down, throwing jabs only brings you down and only weighs you down, okay? Or if you've been the victim, I don't want to say victim, but let's say you are at the tail end of someone lashing out on you and they continue. There's a sword up in the air, meaning though it weighs this person down, they continue on with this, you know. If they're throwing these jabs, it's only going to weigh them down, and really it all comes back to them in a sense that they carry all these burdens and all this negativity with them. Okay? So they're carrying, it's very similar to like that Ten of Wands, but it's not a physical type of work. It's a mental, it's just lashing out. Very crass. This person has a tongue that is just a little too quick sometimes, and they're crass. They can be outright rude. And of course, this is a card of deception, but I'm not getting really deception. I'm just getting more like jabs, you know. So, you know, that's interesting. So what do we have here as an advice? The advice is this the Oracle card of Power. And this tells us to call upon the elements to focus our intentions because the greatest dragon is within us. Okay, so this is asking us to really get in within ourselves, to call on the elements, to call on that inner power to get over this, you know. And I like how this card is over here on the left and this person is on the right with the sword facing outwards. So when you call on that inner power, you know what, like this situation, this person, and all the jabs and all the negativity, that kind of thing, the put downs, that goes by the wayside, that goes away, that goes that way. Okay, so that is important to note. Okay, so if you're going through that kind of thing, warning for those who may be the one who is directing these jabs. You know, you need to find a way to set down these swords once and for all, okay? Because you know you're going to remain burdened. This image here, you see the fairy in a winterland, cold and by herself with no one. So you will remain with no one by your side when you're throwing jabs and being crass. You know, I'm not saying that I'm a cup of honey all the time, like, you know, but you know what I mean, right? Like, you don't have to be a jar of honey 24/7, for crying out loud. But what I'm saying is that, you know, you have to move away from this Seven of Swords posture, because it doesn't do anything for you. It just brings you down, and eventually that'll break down your mind. It will really cause problems with you mentally, you know, too much on your mind, that is. So let's call upon the elements, okay? Keep our intentions nice and clear. We don't need this negativity clouding our power. And I like in this card how there's a bubble here. It's a circle. And the bubble keeps all that is within it safe and secure from whatever's on the outside. So talk about shielding, huh? So I really am getting the shielding coming through. So this is a time that perhaps the power is to the source of power the solution is for you to shield, especially when within the vicinity of this individual. So shielding is very important, and that will be the advice. Let's focus on shielding and on our own inner power and not having anyone dissipate that. Have a blessed day always, and I'll see you tomorrow for the weekend reading. Bye bye.